Happy Thursday, Facebook friends. Welcome back to Facebook. I'm Angie Garza, Director of Professional Learning and Educational Services at ROE 47, serving Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside counties. And if you're joining us back here this fine spring Thursday, you'll know that it's time for another edition of Teacher Talk. And as we journey on our path to the end of the school year, wrapping up the 24-25 school year, one of the things that we so enjoy doing is celebrating. And so today we are celebrating education. We are celebrating some of our students. We are celebrating the future of education. We have our upcoming Educators Symposium at Sauk Valley Community College, but we also have several individuals who are not only receiving their education pathway endorsement, but they are also honored on a much higher level with the Golden Apple Scholarship. So today we are celebrating one of those scholarship recipients from Amboy High School. More on that in just a minute, but before we get started on this wonderful conversation here this morning on Thursday, I want to say good morning to my friend, colleague, and co-host, Ms. Stacy Dingus. And Stacy, we are back on your home turf, talking with a very fine young woman from Amboy High School. And how exciting is that to celebrate and to just really acknowledge that there's been a lot of work happening to build our educator pipeline, and we are so excited that these students are making their community their classroom.
Good morning, Angie. Definitely an exciting week in our area. As you had said, we are doing a lot of celebrating. Last week, we got to celebrate the students who were our health science endorsement earners. This Friday, we get to, out at Sauk, celebrate our students that are education endorsement earners. As we constantly talk about, we have an educator shortage, and here in the Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside area, we are really working to kind of grow our own and give students some hands-on experience. And in this case today for our teacher talk in regards to education and trying their hand at different age levels, different content areas to see if pursuing a career in education is what is best for them. Excited today to have this conversation with a very special young lady that I actually got to teach years ago. She's kind of a rising star in our local high school, so proud of her and ready to get this teacher talk going today.
Well, I think our entire community is going to be very proud of this young lady. So without any further ado, we would like to welcome to our Teacher Talk platform here this morning, Ms. Brooklyn Strub, senior at Amboy High School. Brooklyn is a Golden Apple Scholar recipient. She is very involved in the Whiteside Area Career Center Early Childhood Program, but we would really love. I can't do all of her activities and accolades justice. So Brooklyn, good morning, and I really want you to take a moment to talk to our viewers as we start off our teacher talk this morning about you, and all the things that you've been involved in over the last 4 years at Amboy High School, and some of those things that you are really proud of.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I've been a part of the AHS Color Guard for 4 years now, the choir for 4 years. With the choir, I've done solo ensemble contests for, I think, 3 years now, and I've gotten first and second placings during those. I did basketball cheerleading for 3 years. I have done student council for all 4 years, and I've loved being able to be a part of helping in our community with the winter food drives and the fire safety week at Central. Those have been some of my favorite parts, being able to work with our community. And then I've done, outside of Amboy High School, I've been a part of Junior Master Gardeners with 4-H for 9 years. And doing Kids in the Kitchen, which was cooking and booking until that got changed, for 6 years. And during 4-H, I've gone to the state contest twice, and I've won grand champion once.
I'm glad that you shared all of that, because I don't know that I would have been able to appropriately capture all the things that you were involved in. my brain is spinning right now that you are so active in your school and in your community, and yet you are finding time to explore the field of education and commit yourself to your future in pursuing not only this pathway endorsement, but also the Golden Apple Scholar process, which is very, very rigorous. We're going to hear more about your journey with all of that here in just a minute, but we also have someone who is with you this morning as a proud supporter of you and all of your endeavors, a wonderful cheerleader, not only for all of the things that you're working on, but just for our program in general and Amboy High School and the Amboy School District. We want to say good morning to Miss Janet Crownhart, who is the principal at Amboy High School. Janet, welcome back to Teacher Talk. You are no stranger to our platform, and I always love it when you're here with a student and we get to see all of those bright and shining stars from the Amboy community. So if you wouldn't mind, as we get started here this morning, introducing yourself and talking a little bit about the Pathway program at Amboy, or just any information in general you think would be helpful for our viewers as we get started.
Sure thing. Thanks, Angie and Stacy, for having us here today. It's always an exciting opportunity to come and be on the Teacher Talk, especially to bring such awesome students like Brooklyn with us today. We have been working on the Pathway program for a number of years when Stacy brought it to us, and our education pathway program is certainly up and running. Over the last few years, being able to give out multiple endorsements, and it's not only just about getting students the endorsement, and it's a great opportunity to, help build our own and bring them back to the Amboy area. But I'm also a firm believer in getting students through the pathway programs, even if they decide that it's not the right route for them. Because no matter what they learn through the pathways, whether it's the manufacturing one or the education one, these are lifelong skills that students need, and they might determine that it's not the route they want to go with their lives, but I'm much happier having them find out in high school than find out after multiple years of college.
Congratulations on being named a Golden Apple Scholar recipient. I am so, so very proud of you. This is quite an honor and definitely something that will directly impact your future. Can you tell us a little bit about the process of applying to be a Golden Apple Scholar and how you found out that you were a recipient?
Yes, I found out, I've kind of known of the Golden Apple Scholarship since I've been going to the Educators Symposium for the past 4 years with the Pathways program. But this year, Mr. Colton and Mrs. Crownhart really pushed for me to apply for it. And so in December of last year, I applied with the priority applications. I applied with that. And then in February, I found out that I had an interview in March. And then the Saturday of our musical, which I was a lead in, I had my interview. And then we found out on April 2nd, I had gone in to the school to go ask about what time we were taking our picture for the top 10 students in the class. I left. I was walking out to my car to call my mom and let her know I had sorted everything out. And I saw I had an email from the Golden Apple Foundation. And that was when I found out that I was officially a 2025 Golden Apple Scholar.
Brooklyn, that's a big deal. That's a very rigorous process that you went through. Golden Apple Scholars are recognized for their commitment to a career in education. So well done. And I would echo Stacy's sentiments in saying we are so proud of you. And what an eventful moment. I'm sure that will be one that you will not soon forget, seeing that email and realizing that all of that hard work is paying off and coming to fruition. So congratulations. Mrs. Crownhart, I'm not downplaying this at all. Like, this is a big deal. This is wonderful for the Amboy community. This is wonderful for our region. I'm curious, has Amboy High School ever had a Golden Apple Scholar in the past? And what does it mean to you? You know, you are very vested in the pathways work. You are the instructional leader in the building. You live in the community. So what does it mean to you as that leader to have a student in your building receive such an honor as this?
I mean, the Golden Apple Scholarship is an amazing, amazing opportunity and something that not very many educators have the opportunity to say that they're a part of. Here at Amboy, we're lucky enough to have 2 current teachers in the high school that were Golden Apple Scholars, which gives us a little bit better understanding of what the program and the scholarship actually means. We have had, I believe 2 years ago, we had a student that received the Golden Apple Scholarship as well. And I know that we have each year, a number of our pathway students do apply for it. And so those selected are very limited and very few and far between. So anytime we get somebody, you know, like Brooklyn that does make it through the entire process, it's a great, great opportunity. I love the fact that we can bring those students back into our program, that once they graduate high school and they're just continually given support as new educators, which is something that most school districts strive to do with mentoring programs. But the Golden Apple Scholarship Program gets them so much more than what a school district can, and in addition to what the school district can. So the support that they get out of those first few years of teaching is unmatched. So I love the idea that Brooklyn, you know, should she choose and should we have openings available in the future, would be able to come back to Amboy and teach in our school district. There are some caveats of being part of the Golden Apple Scholarship Program, and that you have to teach in certain needs of schools. And while it's unfortunate that Amboy does meet that criteria, it does benefit us in the long run, allowing us to bring those students back.
Brooklyn, we mentioned earlier that you have a big week because on Friday you will be recognized as an education endorsement earner, which again, super proud of you. Kudos for that. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience in the Education Pathway Program? I know you were involved in the early childhood program at Whiteside, so maybe talk a little bit about that. I'm curious to know what you have learned through your pathway. Mrs. Crownhart kind of alluded to this, that we always say this doesn't guarantee that you have to decide that this is what you want your future to be. The bigger kind of takeaway from the pathway program is to at least kind of get your hands dirty, have that career exploration, spend some time in different age classrooms to have a better idea of what you do want to pursue when you're done with high school. So with that being said, tell us a little bit about your pathway through the education program, through the early childhood program at Whiteside.
The Pathway to Education program did really help solidify the fact that I wanted to teach elementary school and that I wanted to be a teacher, because thanks to the Pathways program, I was able to intern over at the junior high. And that definitely confirmed I did not want to be a junior high teacher. And I'm very grateful that I was able to find that out. And now when try and go, okay, well, I know I want to be a teacher, but where am I going to fit in best? Who am I going to help best? And the early childhood education program at Whiteside also really helped solidify that I wanted to be with those kids. Being able to spend the first year 3 days a week with preschoolers was so much fun, and I looked forward to it, and being able to spend time. I looked forward to the time with the Pathways program, because then I got to spend time with other educators who had similar goals as me. Sure, we might not have wanted to all go in to little bitties, but those are teachers of all ages are needed, and we all got to collaborate together and figure out together what we wanted to do and what worked best for us. And then with the second year at Whiteside, I've been able to intern over at Central in Amboy. I've been able to intern at a first grade class, a third grade class, and a fourth grade class. And I have loved it very much. And it has also helped me confirm that first grade is where I want to be. But I know that I can work well with the older grades. And so I know to keep myself open to that because it's not an absolute no. And I was able to find that out thanks to the Pathway program and Whiteside. And it was very helpful.
Brooklyn, you are wise beyond your years, and you just made my heart sing. So I cannot think of a better person right now to provide testimony to the power of the Pathways program and attending the Whiteside Area Career Center and doing that work in early childhood. Just amazing testimony about your experience and what it helped you to figure out, and just the value of getting in there, getting those experiences, working with other educators gets me right here. And it makes me feel that all the work that we're doing in our communities is really paying dividends. So thank you for that so much. And the other thing that you said that made my heart sing was that you attended our education symposium 4 years ago, and that made you kind of think about what those next steps were and the potential for applying for this Golden Apple scholarship. So Mrs. Crownhart, as you're sitting here and listening to all of this, I know you're probably like smiling as big as I am right now, but I think it just demonstrates the power that the work that is happening in our schools and our communities, this effort to make the communities our classroom, is really starting to pay off. So I'm curious, you've been with us since the very beginning, and I'm wondering, kind of as you reflect, how does the education pathway program at Amboy High School help to address some of the needs that you're seeing in your educational community? Stacy mentioned earlier that we continue for the last several years, we're facing an educator shortage. We need good quality teachers in molding not only our students, but then also that next generation of teachers. So what is your perspective, your thoughts on how this program is impacting your community currently and the impact it might have here down the road?
My hope is that as we work students through the Pathways program and they're given that opportunity to see different age groups, that they do realize that maybe what they thought, the age group they thought they wanted to be a part of might not be the best fit for them. And forcing all of our students in the Pathways program to visit classrooms in the 8th grade level and the 6th grade level and at the elementary school and either preschool or kindergarten. Even if they come and they tell us that I know I want to be a college professor, but I'm still going through the Pathways program. Well, great, but you're going to go sit in a class at the elementary building, and you're going to work with those kids for at least a quarter. And we want to make sure that you don't just walk in the first day and say, hey, this isn't for me. Well, you're going to keep going back and you're going to keep trying it. And we're going to try it for 9 weeks because we want to make sure that when you walk out of here, you know that that's either for you or not for you. And then once they've been in the program for a year or two and they start to really find their niche and which area they might want to be a part of, then we let them stay at that area for a little bit longer. But, as Brooklyn stated, she found out that junior high wasn't for her, but she put her quarter in and, we made sure that she knows that that's not exactly where she wants to be. And I mean, we have other students that we could certainly talk about. And one in particular that I'm going to be high school. I'm going to teach high school. I'm going to teach high school. And all of a sudden, 3rd grade's really looking pretty good for him right now. He's really enjoying it. And just the opportunities that it's given us, as the elementary school principal called a couple weeks ago and said, hey, I'm really struggling with this kid. Do you have any ideas, anything I can do? And I said, hey, I've got a kid that I'd really like to find a space for during this time period. And I think maybe we could set these two up as a mentorship program. And so we even opened up the box a little bit more. And I have, a junior student going over to meet with a 3rd grader every day as just a male mentor and somebody to sit with him and eat lunch and do a little guided reading. And while I don't know 100%, how that's working out, we've been doing it for about 3 weeks now. I'm getting positive feedback from both the elementary school teacher, the principal, and the high school student that's a part of the program. So I think the big thing about the Pathways program here at the high school is that we've said from the beginning, this is not a curriculum that's going to be set, that's going to be able to be passed from year to year. This is something that needs to be changed every year, sometimes every quarter, based on the students that we have in the program, the high school students, based on the teachers that we have that are willing to be our, teacher mentors to these high school students, and the students that we're actually trying to reach, the younger kids. So it is ever evolving, it's ever changing. And for some people that's a really crazy thing and they can't wrap their head around it. And it makes it really difficult for people that like everything written in stone. But it's what's best for our kids and our high school students and getting them those experiences that they need.
Brooklyn, I am dying to know, because graduation is in the near future. What are your future plans? Like I mentioned earlier, we in the Amboy community have watched you grow into a very amazing young woman, and I'm excited to hear and to share with everyone what your next steps are. What are your plans this summer? Where will you be when August starts? Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
As of right now, my plans over the summer are whatever comes up with the Golden Apple Scholarship, and hoping I'll still have time to go, because these past couple of years I've been volunteering over one of our local preschools for their summer day camp, and I've loved it, and it's been amazing. And so hopefully I'll still have time to be able to go with them. And when it comes August, I'm currently enrolled at NIU, and I'm getting set up to live there for this year. I'm gonna stay there, and hopefully once I'm going to get as of right now, I'm set to get my degree in early childhood education, and I'm possibly gonna get an endorsement in elementary education, just so I have that whole span, so I can go through all those ages. And then I hopefully want to come back and teach the next generation of students at Central.
Brooklyn, that sounds like a wonderful plan. You've got just the whole future laid out in front of you. I will tell you that early childhood education, it is so hard to find early childhood educators. I love that you're leaving that open, but when you graduate, did I mention that we have a preschool program? I don't think you'll have any problem finding a job, and we just can't wait to see what this next step in your journey looks like. We hope that you come back and share your continuing experiences with us and with our community to really, kind of invigorate and inspire others to join us in this calling we call education. So, if I haven't said it enough, Brooklyn Strub, congratulations. Well done. We are super excited for you. Friends, I hope that you have enjoyed this teacher talk here this fine Thursday in the month of April. We are not only excited for Brooklyn's accomplishments, but we are excited to celebrate her at our annual education symposium this Friday at Sauk Valley Community College. That has also been a wonderful celebration to experience. This year we have over 150 students who will be joining us on campus who are interested in the field of education. So if I had to capture my feelings in a nutshell, it would be the future is looking very bright for our 3-county area in regards to educating our students and community. Thank you so much to our special guests here this morning, Brooklyn Strub, Golden Apple Scholar recipient, Education Pathway Endorsement earner, senior at Amboy High School, The list goes on of this young lady's accomplishments. We are so proud once again of her and can't wait to see what the future holds. And we would also like to say thank you to Mrs. Janet Crownhart, our Pathway Champion Principal. And Janet, thank you for all of your hard work and support in making these pathways possible. And I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to my friend, colleague, and co-host, Ms. Stacy Dingus, who does a lot of wonderful work in the Amboy community when it comes to pathway endorsement work. So thank you for playing that dual role with us here this morning and always. And thank you to you, our viewers, for joining us here again for Teacher Talk on Facebook. We hope that as you close out your week, you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, an even better Friday, a beautiful, hopefully sunshine-filled spring weekend, and we'll see you right back here next Thursday for another edition of Teacher Talk.